One industry which has been doing exceptionally well in hybrid experiences is the sports industry, like what we briefly discussed early on in the presentation. For instance, the Premier League, which is the highest revenue generating league in the world. If you look at the different channels of revenue, the broadcast revenue for such leagues is much higher than match day tickets revenue. This is a testament to the fact that football clubs have been doing something extremely right in order to keep the global viewership engaged. To help us dig a little deeper and really get a peek into what football clubs have been driving, how they've been driving such experiences for their audience, we have our guest speaker, Diogo, who has been driving fan engagement and ticket operations at Brighton and Hove Albion. Diogo comes with years of experience in this space. Welcome, Diogo. Thanks for joining us.
Hi all, very pleased to be joining you.
Brilliant. So let's get right into it. To begin with, let's discuss a little bit about how this year has been super transitional, even for the sports industry. So now I assume there's a lack of fans at the stadium. For sure, the atmosphere is not the same. So, how has the club been taking it?
Yeah, it's been sad times everywhere in the industry. Supporters are a key part of the game and the match day experience. Not having them with us is tough, as Brighton and Hove Albion is a community club relying on our local fan base. So we have a strong link with our fans. Since the beginning of the pandemic hit, that we are doing our best to keep them informed and clarified, and also optimizing and improving our communication tools, and also our seating inventory for when fans will be allowed to return to the stadium. So we are trying to keep us as much busy as possible, but with a strategic planning, pushing some tasks that can help us to tackle the current difficult times. So yeah, communication is being the key factor, and it's a key element because it's so much uncertainty in the air that keeping fans
Absolutely.
and supporters informed it's key.
Very important. I think you mentioned a bit about the seating and sort of coming back to the stadiums and stuff like that. So if we look at just the revenue aspect of things for the football clubs in EPL, I think broadcast revenue makes up about 80% of the revenues. If I were to put a number to it, is it then a major impact to the football clubs in EPL if the match day revenue is nearly zero, or does that how does that work? Like, how's the club taking it?
Yeah, broadcasting rights are high because media and commercial value of the league, for what it represents, the league with fans. Not having fans in the stand will not only impact on the match day experience and the revenue, but will also impact on the value of the league, especially the Premier League is one of the leagues where the most of the fixtures are sold out. So if you take out fans from that equation, you are reducing the value of the league itself. So yeah, in the short term, I wouldn't say that it's going to be a financial crisis in the league, because Premier League clubs are in the bubble because of the broadcasting revenue. Although if it does change in the medium long term, we might start facing some difficulties. There is also an ongoing petition from all the Premier League clubs to the government to try to allow fans to return to the stadiums. We understand that, of course, we can't have the full capacity for the time being, but we can find a way to bring fans back and keep them socially distanced. So again, Premier League clubs are within the bubble, but that does happen for all other the English football pyramid tiers.
Right.
So Championship and League One, League Two, and so on. They rely on the match day revenue.
Hmm.
So not allowing fans to return to stadium can mean the survival or the death of some clubs. Yeah, it's being
Yeah.
tough, and we are really sorry for them, and we are trying to be vocal close to the government and the right authorities to allow at least, if not full capacity for now, some reduced
Right, with
capacity.
some rules,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And I think just to talk about a little bit towards the sponsorship side, now how are the sponsors reacting to this situation? Because, pretty much all the fans, like you said, it's all the fan engagement in itself has moved sort of virtually, so or like through broadcast. So does that mean that the sponsors have better opportunities now, or is it worse? How does that work?
I wouldn't say it better or worse, but I would say it different opportunities.
Right.
And we needed to reinvent overnight the way that we engage with our supporters and with our sponsors and partners. So traditionally, most of the sponsors' activations, it's on match day, either through tickets and hospitality, and also with the players' appearance.
Yeah.
So if you don't have those sort of assets to deliver, you need to find
Mhm.
another way to deliver uh,
Absolutely.
some similar with some similarities to that. So, for instance, our main sponsor, American Express,
Yeah.
they have offered to their employees and the top level card members a weekly Q&A with a player.
Oh, nice.
Um, Yes, so also our Nike, another main sponsor, has offered some merchandise to our box holders and staff to keep us uh,
Okay.
fit during the lockdown. Sun Harvest, which is our local fruit and vegetable wholesaler, has provided to our sponsor partners and club staff with a fresh box of fruit and vegetables.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Keeping
yeah, it's really
healthy.
cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool. So
Nice.
Bruno, who is our former player and captain, and is now part of the first team coaching staff, sent a message to all American Express staff and car members about with some tips about how to keep mental health during
Oh, okay.
lockdown. Um, our
I think
corporate,
that's definitely also becoming quite a big issue with,
yeah,
mental health being so big with the pandemic. That's right. That's
yeah.
very interesting.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. Our corporate members also had the chance to join a weekly Q&A with club sponsors, club players and the head
Okay.
coach. And just during the lockdown for the 1920 season, we offered the VIP pack to all of our box holders and
Oh,
sponsors, containing their favorite pies, beer, and a branded face mask
so
on the
cool.
match day. So, for instance, our first game post lockdown, it was, or during the lockdown, sorry, it was Arsenal at home. So on
Hmm.
that Saturday morning, they received on their address uh, uh,
Oh,
uh,
wow. Like a
some
package
pies. Yeah,
delivered to the
package. Yeah.
Nice.
In
So
order
this
to
was
enjoy.
delivered to so this was delivered to the fans, sort of because they couldn't come down to the stadium, is it?
The fans could buy the same sort of package,
Oh,
but for our box holders, who are the ones who
oh,
spend most of the money with us, we offered so we created like a box containing the products from our sponsors, and we offered to them. So
Okay.
this is a way to not only to keep promoting our sponsors and partners, but also to engage with our supporters.
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
And I think those are like really good strategies and different kinds of ways that you're trying to engage with people, because just because they're not able to make it to the stadium. So that's really cool. So, and I'm sure like there are plans of sort of, the entire planning process to bring fans back to the stadium. And I'm sure that's going to be like quite a gradual process. So, how is Brighton preparing for it? What are the safety measures being put into place, and so on?
Yeah, so on the end of August,
Hmm.
we had the chance to host a test event, which was part
Okay.
of the preseason friendly with Chelsea,
Hmm.
and the government allowed us to have 2,500 supporters attending under the social distancing seating layout. So
Right.
um, that was a very interesting moment to test ourselves and to put in place some measures. So not only we created a checkerboard seating layout to
Hmm.
keep the social distancing between rows and
Yeah.
supporters, but also we needed to speed up the way that we were taking cash from the supporters. So
Right.
we became a completely cashless stadium to avoid at all any physical money exchange. Also, before we printed tickets and they put under the collection
Yeah.
tray. So now it's 100% mobile and print at home tickets. Um, Again, to try to minimize the contact of the
Yeah.
supporters on the ticket office.
Definitely.
Also, we implemented ways in and out for fans whilst they are in stands to know, okay, I'm on my seat, I need to pop to the loo, I need to buy some drink. Where do I need to go? So there is some arrows on the floor where you can follow
Okay.
and keep the social distance. And also on the buying when buying a ticket, you
Hmm.
get online prompts with the COVID spectator code of conduct. So it flash out and says, okay,
Okay.
please note that you need to wear face mask, please keep the social
Right.
distancing, uh, try to or we encourage you to travel
Hmm.
by car or walk or wherever rather than take public transportation. So yeah,
Right.
it was as per the government authorities, it
Right.
was a
I think
success.
what you're mentioning just now is actually a very great concept, because right now we're having to sort of adapt to the safety measures. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of talk about safe venues even for events. So that's a pretty good I mean, it's good to see that even the sports industry sort of adapting quickly to that,
yeah,
because I think eventually these are the measures that are going to bring the fans and everyone back to the stadium itself, and that's when things will start feeling a little more normal,
yeah,
as we call it. Yeah, so that's a very good way of sort of handling it, I'd say. I
yeah.
think right now, again, it's reaching the full capacity is being too over ambitious when we discuss about stadiums being going back to full capacity. So, what are the plans? How is Brighton working towards like doing more of these games where you're going to be imposing safety measures, or like have spaced out games? How is it going to work?
Yeah, operationally, we feel ready. Okay.
Yeah.
As per the test event, it worked absolutely fine. So we feel that operationally we can deliver the event if the government allowed so. So for now, what we are doing in the back office is creating, doing all the ticketing setup
Okay.
and offering the chance to offering to supporters the chance to do group ballots, for instance. So we don't
Okay.
know yet when fans will be back to the stadium, but
Right.
we are trying to anticipate that next movement. So we are now very proactively asking fans, okay, whenever we are okay to have you back, with
Mm-hmm.
whom would you like to come? And we can keep the social distancing between you guys. So we are accepting group ballots up
Okay.
to 6 supporters,
Okay.
and there are so much uncertainty in the air, and
Yeah.
not just on the sports industry, but most of people are financially struggling at the moment.
That's true.
So we decided to reimburse, because in the Premier League, most of the clubs, what we do is before the season
Yeah.
finish, we start renewing for the upcoming season. So we have already 20,000
Yeah.
ish season ticket holders, but we can't deliver the product that they have bought it with us.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
within next 2 weeks, we are refunding 75% of the
Okay.
season ticket value back to them.
Okay.
And they will keep
Wow.
25%. And that amount will be used as a credit for when fans are back to the stadium, they can deduct the match
Right.
ticket from that credit. If they
Okay.
don't feel comfortable to return
Mm-hmm.
and the credit is still 25% at the end,
Yeah.
that amount can be used to deduct from the upcoming season ticket value. So
Okay.
yeah, we are
Okay.
trying to be ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when it will be allowed, but I think that if the government suddenly gives us a green light, we are ready
Okay.
to start promoting
That
games.
sounds Yeah, that sounds hopeful, I'd say, and that's a very good sign then. I think let's take a quick look at this video from Brighton, which really illustrates what Diogo has been sharing with us just now. So yeah, let's take a look at the video. Okay, so that was a great video which really talked about, different aspects of like online interactions and how safety measures have been, and hopefully we'll be seeing fans go back to the stadium and the actual atmosphere feel the same. I think let's tie all of this back to the events industry, and the events industry is such an experiential business that just like watching a football match in person is the same way somebody attending a conference in person, you'd always prefer to have that human connection and be physically present. But in the view of, I mean, the current situation, such conferences and exhibitions are having to move everything online, or more so towards a hybrid model. So would you have any advice for the event organizers as to how they can tackle these hybrid experiences?
Well, I fully agree about being an experiential business where there isn't a right or wrong approach. It might sound a cliche, but thinking out of the box is what differentiates
Yeah.
amongst competitors. So recently, I've seen that some football clubs and cinemas are offering a drive-in experience to their fans, which
Yeah.
is an ingenious idea to ensure that the fans still engage with the club and they are close as possible to the action.
Right.
whilst reminding at safe distance. I think that this is also the perfect timing to accelerate the digital strategy.
Right.
So implementing mobile ticketing and trying to avoid the paper ticket needs to
Yeah.
be something that the event organizers need to look for. Also, educating our fans or our customers to what is happening and help them to, whenever we are allowed to them have them back,
Yeah.
to educate how to use the technology as well, and how to operate in certain in this current situation.
Right.
Something that we have done at Brighton here, we love to do the things on the Brighton way. And the Brighton
Okay.
way means that we need to make it special to our fans
Yeah.
and try to exceed expectations. So when when the pandemic hit us, uh, we decided to contact our most vulnerable fans. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
we pulled the list for all our season ticket holders and members, and
Hmm.
we created what is called the big ring round call, where we
Okay.
contact over 4,000 supporters. And with
Wow.
these calls, we split geographically, and we offer them our help, not
Mhm.
only to to do the online shopping, but also to collect prescriptions from the pharmacies.
Right.
So if I live 100 meters far or 1 kilometer far from one season ticket
Yeah.
holder, and I know that they might be struggling, okay, I can go to the
Oh,
supermarket
wow.
and deliver to their at their doorstep the whatever they want to.
Right.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
we also implemented the cardboard cutout called the fans in stands. So this is sort of things that you couldn't think before the pandemic, but
Yeah.
then you needed to try to reinvent ways
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
to engage. So yeah, thinking out of the box might
Can you
sound like
tell us
cliche.
a little bit about the fan in the stands concept that you guys had?
Yeah, so our supporters will just go online, buy a
Yeah.
product, which is the cardboard for £20.
Hmm.
Then they receive an email confirmation with a link where they click on that link, they upload their picture, and
Right.
then we produce the cardboard thing to put on stands.
Okay.
So even in that the stadium was empty,
Hmm.
okay, of the fans' noise,
Yeah.
in reality, their face was there, so the
Yeah. Yeah.
players could stand and say, "Oh, okay, okay, I can
Yeah.
see."
They would
Because
feel like they're there in person. Yeah.
yeah, and it was quite cool as well that we took then the pictures of the cardboard cutouts in the
Yeah.
stand, and we posted on social media, so you could
Hmm.
still go to the Facebook club's page and try to spot yourself in the middle of the
Right.
crowd. So it was
That's
really
so cool.
cool, and yeah, it's all about trying to think
So,
differently.
was there a lot of people who sort of sent in their pictures, and was this really how many rows was it filling in and stuff like that?
Well, with the cardboard cutout, we didn't need to put any social distancing, so it took
Right.
every single seat in order to try to
Right.
give the best picture, the camera angle. Um, so yeah, something that I haven't mentioned before it was to improve the way that you communicate with the clubs. We are the only Premier League club offering a web chat service to our fans. So if they ring us over the phone, there is a cost, tiny cost.
Right.
But with web chat, as long as they just visit our website, that populate with a fan number, their first name and last name, email address, then our supporter service staff will help them towards the customer experience online. Even if it's just a question about when we'll be back to stadium, or about where is my 75% refund. You see, yeah. So it's trying to be innovative and accelerating the digital strategy.
That's pretty cool. It's very interesting. And I think it's not just the sports industry. A lot of industries have been having to sort of pivot the way and sort of move more into digital innovation and stuff like that. And like you rightly said, like, think out of the box, because what the pandemic has really done is it's forcing us to sort of come out of a comfort zone and really go out and experiment. Like, I really like the example of sort of bringing the fan pictures, images in the stadium and sort of make it seem like they're there physically. So and I think on that note, I would like to thank you, Diogo, for sparing your time and sort of having a conversation with us. And this was definitely a very insightful conversation, and I'm sure our audience has learned a lot from it. I really appreciate you taking out the time, and thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. So stay well, stay safe, and keep enjoying. Thanks.
Yeah.